We're live from Georgia, a key battleground state in the race for the White House. In just moments, the current U.S. president will debate the former U.S. president as their party's presumptive nominees, a first in American history. We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world to our studios in Atlanta. This is the CNN presidential debate.
Welcome to today's debate. Today we will be focusing on one of the most important and long-awaited discussions. The candidates will discuss the future of Puerto Rico. We presented to you Mr. Melendez, the Republican candidate of the president of the United States.
Hi, Mr. A pleasure to be here.
A pleasure to have you here as well. And I'll be presenting to you Mr. Rafuna, the Democratic candidate for president of the United States.
I'm Mr. Herrera. It's nice to be here.
It's nice to have you here as well. So, before we get started with the questions, each candidate will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer the question and discuss and present their stance on each question that is presented to them. So, why don't we get started with the first question? So, what do you believe is the best political future for Puerto Rico, and why is their solution the most beneficial long term? Mr. Melendez, would you like to go first?
Yeah, that's okay. So, the only logical future for the island of Puerto Rico is independence. One cannot pretend that the United States is a partner, since history proves that it's an owner through treating it as a colony. Based on the historical context of the U.S. Department of State's archives detailing U.S. expansionism, the U.S. acquired Puerto Rico for its own strategic benefit and economic benefit, but not the benefit of the people of Puerto Rico. The current status is a colonial arrangement that denies all full rights and economic tools to the people of Puerto Rico. Furthermore, based on the argument of academia.edu article, independence is the progressive solution of the U.S. colonialism in Puerto Rico. We understand that the remaining a territory or becoming a state are both forms of submission. Becoming a state is what the opposing opposition is going to be arguing for. And that is not going to give the necessary economic tools for trade, currency, and borders. To build a dignified nation rather than remaining a possession of Congress, independence should be key.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Melendez. Mr. Rafuna, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah, absolutely. Puerto Rico should become the 51st state of the United States of America. I like to look at the core of American freedom: no taxation without representation. Our current relationship with Puerto Rico at its very core is so profoundly un-American. What would be equally un-American is what my opponent is trying to propose, which is preventing Puerto Rico from integrating into the Union, especially forcing Puerto Rico out of the United States. Not only has Puerto Rican culture influenced and been influenced by American culture extensively, according to Pew Research, about 5.6 million Puerto Ricans are living in the mainland United States. This intertwinement of culture and people has occurred for more than a century, with Puerto Rico under the colonial rule of the United States of America. Cutting them off is not going to solve anything, and it's about time we give them their due rights without cutting this deep connection. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your responses. Let's move on to the next question. How would your proposed political status for Puerto Rico's affect their tax incentive programs, such as Acts 20, 22, and 60? And do you believe that these acts help or harm Puerto Rico? Mr. Melendez, would you like to start?
I'll let Mr. Rafuna start for this one.
Whoa, okay. Oh, Mr. Rafuna, would you like to go first?
Alright, sure. I guess if he can't answer, I'll go ahead. I personally think calling them tax incentives are a incredible misnomer. The amount of harm these acts have caused for our fellow Americans is honestly despicable. Our Americans in Puerto Rico are being priced out of their homes by self-interested billionaires who use their flawed tax code to reduce the amount of taxes that they pay. In Section 933 of the U.S. Tax Code, the United States is permitted to exempt certain income sources from tax for bona fide residents of Puerto Rico. Act 60 and the prior said acts are allowed due to this section in the tax code, and wealthy individuals exploit these rules not to help develop Puerto Rico or anything, as a matter of fact, but simply to avoid paying their taxes. And in doing this, they price out Puerto Ricans out of their home, who have no leverage. This just causes terrible gentrification on the island. These acts do extensive harm to the Americans native to Puerto Rico, and as a state, this tax code would be made invalid. The language used in Section 933 refers to Puerto Rico as a separate entity to the United States, and this separation could not be said, even with convoluted diction that we see in law, if Puerto Rico becomes a state. Yeah, there, I'm done.
And
Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks
okay,
for reminding
sorry,
me.
you went over by 3 seconds, but it's okay.
Sorry, but yeah, it is okay.
Mr. It's not okay. Mr. Melendez, would you like to respond back to what Mr. Rafuna said? What is your stance for this question?
Thank you for asking, Ricardo. So I believe that these acts are not just harming people of Puerto Rico. One must look to the economic reality. The Act 16 exists for the rich. My proposed independent status allows immediate abolishment of the Act 60. The truth is that these tax incentives are designed for wealthy outsiders that come and invest into the island and just throw the native people of the island out. Based on the context provided by Puerto Rico syllabus in the documentary Aquí Vive la Gente for Bad Bunny's El Apagón, we see that these acts accelerate the displacement of local residents and lead to the collapse of public services, such as it is electricity. These acts are purely a tool of capital extraction. Under independence, we write a tax laws to benefit our people, not people from the outside. We're going to be mainly focused on the native people of Puerto Rico, not foreign investors looking for a discount paradise where they can just put their money in and get a lot of more money since they don't have to pay as much taxes as in the U.S. We will end the colonial structure that permits this abuse to the native people of Puerto Rico.
And that's time. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. How do you believe Puerto Rico should balance property rights with the need to prevent displacement of local communities? Who would like to answer first? Mr. Rafuna or
Since
Mr.
you
Melendez?
gave it to me, I'll give it to you now if you want to answer first, unless you don't have an answer like last time.
No. I do have an answer, Mr. Rafuna.
All right.
Please.
So, Mr. Melendez, would you like to answer? How do you believe Puerto Rico should balance property rights with the need to prevent displacement of local communities?
There's no balance when our people from the island are being thrown into the streets. They might talk about contract delegation, but that's nonsense. That ignores human cost. The only way to protect our communities is to have an absolute authority of a sovereign country. As visualized in the documentary accompanied by Bad Bunny's El Apagón, we see clear evidence of locals being pushed out of their neighborhoods, like Puerto de Tierra, to make a way for high-end luxury developments, destroying their houses, leaving them without a home. We must prioritize the national right of our citizens to reside in their homeland over the property rights of foreign investors. The people who live there right now is our priority, not the people that are going to buy. Independence means we can enact laws that treat human housing as a human right, not just as a commodity for colonial profit.
And thank you, Mr. Melendez. Mr. Rafuna, what do you have to say to this? What is your response?
Well, simply, I believe that as a U.S. state, Puerto Rico would have a lot more power to help combat this issue. What I would do is, with Puerto Rico as a state, I would work with the Puerto Rican governor on a program which promotes contract delegation between Puerto Rican renters and landowners, as well as promotes economic growth by offering supply-side guaranteed loans to startup companies in Puerto Rico with expert support in healthy growth, led by Puerto Rican residents who strictly meet the requirements, so there are no exploitations like how there are with Act 22, 20, and 60. This program will instill confidence in native Puerto Rican home ownership and tenancy, while also ensuring government benefits are used to support Puerto Rican growth in a manner which actually helps native Puerto Ricans without infringing on property rights. In the long term, this program will also generate more federal tax revenue as opposed to the current system with programs like Act 60, which actually reduce federal tax revenue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for answering.
You're welcome.
Now, for the last question, both of you, you know, whoever would like to answer first, there's no formatting for this. So, how does your position protect and strengthen Puerto Rico's native language, culture, and national identity? Who would like to answer first? Mr. Rafuna, Mr. Melendez?
I'll go first, Mr. Ricardo. So my position, independent, is the only way that guarantees the culture of Puerto Rico to survive. We have, if we remain on the path of dependency or statehood, as Mr. Rafuna is arguing for, that I believe it's completely wrong, our culture will be degraded, diluted, and turned into just a tourist attraction, as it happened to other countries that can be looked at in the history of the U.S. expansionism. An example can be Hawaii, where they became a state of the United States and their culture reduced by a lot. Native people from Hawaii weren't able to afford to live in Hawaii because it became a tourist attraction. A lot of people from the United States started going to the country, and this made for native people of Hawaii not able to afford to live in that state anymore. This can be shown in the music of Bad Bunny, Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, his latest album. No quiero que le pase lo mismo que lo que le pasó a Hawaii. I don't want it to happen the same to what happened to Hawaii, referring to the same issue. So only dependency provides the ultimate constitutional and political safety for Spanish, protected the unique traditions of Puerto Rico, and maintained truly distinct national identity.
Mr. Rafuna, what do you have to say in response to what Mr. Melendez just?
I do think it's also funny that Mr. Melendez uses Bad Bunny. I think it's a really flat attempt.
Why do you think it's funny?
What? What? No, it's not your time to speak. All right? As I was saying, I think it's really funny that you use Bad Bunny. I think it's a really flat attempt to try and rally Puerto Rican nationalism, when I really don't think you know what Puerto Ricans actually want. They want to not be independent. They want to be a state so that they get their rights, and they're still part of the culture that they are entwined in with our nation.
How do you know that they actually want to be a state?
No, it's my turn.
Hey, gentlemen. Mr. Rafuna is speaking right now. We could, continue this after he finishes answering.
It's not professional.
Continue,
As I was
Mr.
saying,
Rafuna.
yes, thank you. I will continue. Thank you. According to the Puerto Rico State Elections Committee, in 2024, for the November general election, 59% of Puerto Ricans supported statehood as a political solution going forward. The Puerto Ricans, and now the Americans, know with this debate that your plan has no merit. It is merely to abandon Puerto Rico, which would not only devastate their economy, but for mainland United States, it's going to limit federal tax revenue in the long term. Abandoning Puerto Rico is good for absolutely nobody. And Mr. Melendez, you cannot use Bad Bunny to sway the electorate. He's an amazing artist, but he does not support your view. He probably supports statehood. All right, buddy? So,
And that's time.
yeah, thanks for calling time for me, but not for him. It's okay. It's okay.
Pardon me, but okay. Anyways, Mr. Melendez.
I thought the question was about culture.
Lower your tone. Lower your tone. Lower your tone. Any final comments? That's it.
No, I think we're done. I think that ends it, moderator. I think we're good. I think I've won this debate. Thank you, Mr. Melendez. However,
you will let the people decide who's right, and we will do our best to, have representatives. All right.
These elections are just going to be rigged.
Rigged? Really? You're a funny one, huh?
Gentlemen, language. Please, let's keep it professional.
Language?
So that is at the end of the debate. Thank you for being here. Mr. Rafuna, Mr. Melendez, both made great points, had great answers, great perspectives for each question, for what will be the future of Puerto Rico economically, culturally. So thank you, and we will let the people interpret this the way they want and use this to know what they want for the future of Puerto Rico.
Thank you.
Mr. Herrera.
Thank you, Mr. Melendez, even though you lost. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Rafuna.
Please,
Thank you, Mr.
professionalism.
For having us.
Of course. And
would you like to say your point of view?
You both made really great points. You guys made both really good points. So economically, I'll say Mr. Rafuna made some great points when it comes to economically, but when it comes to culturally and the people and their values, the people of Puerto Rico and their values, Mr. Melendez obviously answered very well for the people of Puerto Rico. So there is no winner yet.
The numbers say it. The numbers say it. I won.
We'll let the people decide that, this debate could heavily influence the decision that Puerto Ricans take when it comes to whether or not they want to become a 51st state or not. But that's all. So thank you for being present here, Mr. Rafuna, Mr. Melendez, and have a good night.